Have you ever felt like the universe is sending you signs? Carl Jung referred to these moments of perfect alignment and coincidence as synchronicity. It's that strange and magical feeling that everything is connected in a deeper, more meaningful way. Today, we'll explore the power of synchronicity, breaking down this fascinating concept into 7 essential points that will help you understand how these significant coincidences can transform your life. Get ready to discover how coincidences can be much more than mere happenstance, and how you can use them to live a more connected and meaningful life. Point 1. Definition and origin of the concept. Have you ever experienced a coincidence so startling that it seems impossible it's just by chance? This phenomenon has a name: synchronicity. Carl Jung, the renowned Swiss psychologist, was the one who brought this fascinating concept to life. Imagine thinking about a friend you haven't seen in years, and suddenly, you receive a call from that person. Such experiences might seem magical, and Jung believed they were not mere coincidences but signals of a deeper order in the universe. According to Jung, synchronicity is the simultaneous occurrence of 2 or more events that are not causally related yet have significant meaning for the person experiencing them. In other words, these aren't just random events. They are moments that seem to carry a significant, relevant connection. Jung developed this concept while working with his patients, observing how their dreams and everyday experiences often reflected each other in surprising ways. A classic example of synchronicity is as follows. A woman is in therapy with Jung and tells him about a dream involving a golden scarab. As she describes her dream, a real golden scarab beetle hits the consulting room window. Jung, struck by the coincidence, opens the window and shows the insect to his patient. This seemingly random moment holds profound significance for the patient and becomes a pivotal point in her therapy. Jung saw these moments as more than mere coincidences. He regarded them as messages from the collective unconscious, a central concept in his theory. The origin of synchronicity is closely tied to Jung's ideas about the collective unconscious, a kind of shared warehouse of human experiences and archetypes. According to Jung, we are all connected at this deep level of the unconscious, and synchronicities are manifestations of this connection. When we experience a significant coincidence, it's as if a part of the universe is speaking to us, guiding us, or confirming something important in our lives. Synchronicity does not only manifest in extraordinary events, it can also appear in everyday moments. For example, you think of a specific song, and when you turn on the radio, that song starts to play. Or perhaps you're grappling with a difficult problem, and suddenly, you find a book that offers precisely the solution you need. These experiences might seem trivial, but upon closer observation, we can see how they are filled with meaning and can offer guidance or confirmation in our lives. Jung also believed that synchronicity was related to time. These events do not only occur simultaneously, but they are also tied to a precise moment in our life when we are most receptive or in need of a sign. This relates to the concept of kairos, the right, opportune moment in Greek philosophy, which differs from chronological time, chronos. Synchronicity happens in these kairos moments, when we are in the right place, at the right time, to receive the message we need. A personal example might illustrate this. Imagine you are considering a significant change in your career. You are undecided and unsure of which path to take. One night, you dream of an old friend who works in the field you are interested in. The next morning, while having coffee, you receive an email from that friend, after years without contact, asking if you would be interested in a job opportunity at their company. This event seems more than a coincidence. It's as if the universe is conspiring to guide you in the right direction. For Jung, synchronicity was a way to understand that we are connected at a deeper, more meaningful level. We are not alone in our experiences. The universe, through these significant coincidences, offers us clues and messages. It reminds us that there is an underlying order, an invisible fabric that connects all events and experiences in our life. In summary, synchronicity is a powerful and fascinating concept that invites us to look beyond the surface of everyday events. It encourages us to pay attention to those meaningful coincidences and to consider what messages or guidance they might be offering us. By opening ourselves to the possibility of synchronicity, we can find a deeper sense of connection and meaning in our lives, and perhaps even receive the inspiration and guidance we need to move forward on our path. Point 2. The relationship between synchronicity and the collective unconscious. Have you ever wondered if our minds are connected in a way that goes beyond what we can see and touch? Carl Jung thought so, and this idea is at the heart of his concept of synchronicity. According to Jung, synchronicity and the collective unconscious are intrinsically linked. To understand how, we first need to explore what the collective unconscious is and how it functions. The collective unconscious is a kind of universal warehouse of experiences, memories, and symbols shared by all humans. Jung believed that, in addition to our personal unconscious, which is composed of our individual experiences, there exists a deeper, shared level that influences all of us. This collective unconscious contains archetypes, which are universal images and themes that appear in myths, dreams, and religions across all cultures throughout history. Imagine the collective unconscious as a vast cosmic library to which we all have access, though we might not be aware of it. These archetypes and symbols can emerge in our dreams, inspire our stories, and yes, manifest through synchronicities. For example, the archetype of the hero is something found in every culture, from the stories of Hercules in Greek mythology to modern superheroes in comics and movies. This archetype resides in the collective unconscious and subtly yet profoundly influences us all. Now, how does this connect to synchronicity? Jung believed that when we experience a synchronicity, we are seeing the collective unconscious in action. It's as if the universe, through this shared warehouse of experiences and symbols, is organizing events in our life in a meaningful way. When two events coincide meaningfully, though there is no evident causal connection, it is the collective unconscious that is weaving these threads. For instance, suppose you are dealing with a significant loss in your life. You are going through a difficult time and feel alone in your grief. One night, you dream of a butterfly emerging from its chrysalis and flying towards the sky. The next day, while walking through a park, you see an identical butterfly to the one in your dream. This coincidence may seem trivial, but for you, it holds profound significance. The butterfly, a symbol of transformation and rebirth resonant in many cultures, reminds you that, like the butterfly, you can find the strength to transform and overcome your pain. This synchronicity offers you comfort and hope, and is a manifestation of the collective unconscious speaking to you in the language of symbols and archetypes. Synchronicity can also act as a kind of spiritual guide. Sometimes, when we feel lost or unsure about an important decision, a synchronicity may appear to offer us a clue or confirmation. Imagine you're considering moving to a new city to start a new job, but you're unsure if it's the right decision. While flipping through a book, you find a quote that says, "The real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes." Then, when you turn on the radio, you hear a song about finding a new home. These coincidences may seem random, but if interpreted through the lens of the collective unconscious, they can help you find clarity and confidence in your decision. Jung also saw synchronicity as a way to connect with the divine or the transcendental. In many cultures, synchronicities are seen as signs of fate or messages from the gods. This viewpoint resonates with the idea that the collective unconscious is not just a storehouse of human experiences, but also a connection to something greater than ourselves. When we experience a synchronicity, it's as if we are in tune with the flow of the universe, receiving a reminder that we are not alone and that our lives have a greater purpose. In summary, the relationship between synchronicity and the collective unconscious is a deep and meaningful connection that invites us to see the world in a richer, more purpose-filled way. By opening ourselves to the possibility that our significant coincidences are more than mere happenstances, we can find guidance, comfort, and a sense of connection with something greater. Jung teaches us that by paying attention to these synchronicities, we are engaging in an ongoing dialogue with the universe and with our own collective unconscious, thus uncovering the depths of our own souls and the fabric of the universe that binds us all together. Point 3. The importance of perception and intuition. Have you ever had a gut feeling so strong that you couldn't ignore it? Or perhaps experienced a moment when everything seems to fit perfectly, as if the universe is guiding you? These moments are not just coincidences. They are manifestations of something much deeper, perception and intuition. According to Carl Jung, our ability to perceive and use our intuition is crucial for recognizing and understanding synchronicity in our lives. Perception is our ability to interpret the world around us. It's how we gather and process information through our senses. However, perception is not just a passive process. It is also influenced by our experiences, beliefs, and emotions. When we pay attention to details and open our minds to possibilities, we can begin to notice patterns and connections that would otherwise go unnoticed. On the other hand, intuition is that inner voice, that visceral feeling that guides us without the need for logical reasoning. It's like a deep knowledge that emerges without conscious effort. Jung highly valued intuition, as he believed it connected us with our unconscious and, by extension, the collective unconscious. Intuition allows us to see beyond the obvious and grasp the profound meaning of synchronicities. Imagine you are walking through the city and feel drawn to a particular bookstore. Without knowing why, you enter and begin browsing the books. Suddenly, one of them catches your attention. You pick it up and discover it contains exactly the information you need at that moment in your life. This experience might seem like a simple coincidence, but by listening to your intuition and following your perceptions, you've opened the door to a significant synchronicity. The key to recognizing and leveraging synchronicity lies in trusting our perceptions and intuitions. In a society that often values logic and reason more, it can be challenging to pay attention to these subtler aspects of our experience. However, when we do, we can discover a rich source of guidance and wisdom. For example, you might find yourself at a career crossroads, unsure of which path to take. Instead of analyzing all the options exhaustively, you decide to follow your intuition. One day, while talking to a friend, they mention a job opportunity that resonates deeply with you. You follow that lead and end up finding a job that is fulfilling and satisfying. Perception and intuition are also closely linked to mindfulness and presence. When we are fully present in the moment, we are more receptive to the signs and synchronicities the universe sends us. The practice of meditation, for example, can help us sharpen our perception and strengthen our intuition. By calming our mind and focusing on the present, we can tune in more closely to the subtleties of our experiences and catch those moments of synchronicity more clearly. An inspiring example is Steve Jobs, co-founder of Apple, who often spoke about the importance of following intuition. Jobs recounted how a calligraphy course he attended without a clear purpose profoundly influenced the design of the typography in the early Macintosh computers. His intuition led him to pursue a seemingly random interest, but it ended up having a significant impact on his career and the tech industry. This is a clear example of how perception and intuition can guide us toward life-transforming synchronicities. Furthermore, our perception and intuition can help us find meaning and purpose in our daily experiences. Sometimes, life presents us with challenges that seem insurmountable. However, by paying attention to synchronicities, we can find messages and lessons that help us grow and evolve. For example, you might be going through a tough time in a personal relationship. While reading a book, you find a sentence that deeply resonates with your situation and offers a new perspective. This synchronicity can give you the boost needed to address the problem more constructively. In summary, perception and intuition are powerful tools that allow us to recognize and harness the synchronicities in our lives. By trusting our gut feelings and being attentive to meaningful details, we can discover invaluable guidance and a deeper sense of connection with the universe. Jung invites us to open ourselves to these experiences, to pay attention to the signs, and to follow our intuition, knowing that in those moments of synchronicity, we are in tune with the flow of the cosmos and the fabric of the collective unconscious. By doing so, we not only find answers and guidance, but also a greater sense of purpose and meaning in our lives. Point 4. Synchronicity and archetypes. Have you ever felt that certain symbols or recurring themes in your life hold a special meaning? Carl Jung called these patterns archetypes, and they play a crucial role in understanding synchronicity. Jung defined archetypes as universal images and themes residing in the collective unconscious, influencing our thoughts, behaviors, and yes, our experiences of synchronicity. Archetypes are like the lead actors in the drama of our lives. They can appear in dreams, myths, fairy tales, and our daily experiences. Some of the best-known archetypes include the hero, the shadow, the sage, and the anima/animus. Each of these archetypes represents fundamental aspects of human experience and can manifest in surprising and meaningful ways. Imagine, for example, you're going through a personal crisis and feel a deep need for change. During this time, you start to see images of the phoenix, the mythical bird that is reborn from its ashes, everywhere. In books, on television, even in graffiti on the streets. This phoenix archetype symbolizes death and rebirth, and its presence in your life may be a signal that you are in a process of profound transformation. The synchronicity between your personal situation and the repeated appearance of the phoenix can offer you guidance and a sense of hope. Archetypes can also appear in our relationships. Consider the archetype of the anima or animus, which represents the feminine and masculine aspects within each of us. If you consistently find yourself attracted to people who embody qualities of your anima or animus, this may be a signal that you need to integrate these aspects into your own personality. For instance, if you are a very rational person and find yourself drawn to someone intuitive and emotional, this synchronicity could be indicating the importance of balancing your logic with intuition. Jung believed that archetypes are a kind of universal language that can help us understand our experiences and find deeper meaning in them. When we experience a synchronicity involving an archetype, it's as if the collective unconscious is sending us a message, guiding us on our personal journey. These moments can be incredibly powerful and transformative, helping us to see our lives from a new perspective. A famous example of synchronicity and archetypes occurs in Jung's own life. During a period when he was deeply immersed in the study of alchemy, Jung began to have dreams and visions related to the archetype of the old sage, a figure that represents wisdom and spiritual guidance. At the same time, he encountered people and situations in his daily life that embodied this archetype, offering him crucial advice and perspectives for his work. This synchronicity not only validated his studies, but also provided him with practical and spiritual guidance. Another example is the archetype of the hero. Many people are drawn to hero stories because they reflect their own struggles and personal growth. If you are facing a significant challenge and suddenly find yourself surrounded by references to the hero, whether in movies, books, or conversations, this synchronicity may be indicating that you are on your own heroic journey. It reminds you that, just like the heroes in stories, you have the strength and courage to overcome your obstacles. It's important to remember that synchronicity and archetypes are not just abstract concepts. They have a real impact on our daily lives. By recognizing and understanding these patterns, we can find meaningful guidance and a deeper understanding of ourselves and our circumstances. For example, if you are in a moment of spiritual seeking and keep encountering the archetype of the sage, this may be a sign that it's time to seek knowledge and advice, perhaps through a mentor or by reading philosophical and spiritual texts. In conclusion, synchronicity and archetypes are intrinsically linked and offer us a rich source of meaning and guidance. Archetypes act as universal symbols that resonate with our deep psyche, and when they appear in our synchronicity experiences, they are speaking to us in the language of the collective unconscious. By paying attention to these patterns and reflecting on their meaning, we can find clarity, direction, and a deeper connection with the universe. Jung invites us to open ourselves to these experiences, to look beyond the superficial and to discover the hidden messages that can transform our lives in powerful and meaningful ways. Point 5. Synchronicity in daily practice. Have you ever had a coincidence so astounding that it seems impossible to be just by chance? Synchronicity, as defined by Carl Jung, invites us to view these coincidences as something more, meaningful signals from the universe. But how can we recognize and leverage synchronicity in our everyday lives? Here we explore how you can incorporate synchronicity into your daily routine to live a more connected and meaningful life. To start, it's essential to maintain an open and receptive mind. Synchronicity can manifest in many forms and at unexpected moments. Sometimes, we are so wrapped up in our daily routines that we overlook these signals. A practical way to cultivate openness is to keep a journal. Record the coincidences you experience, no matter how small they may seem. For example, if you think of a friend and suddenly receive a message from them, write it down. Over time, you'll notice patterns and recurring themes that could offer a new perspective on your life. Mindfulness practice can also help you recognize synchronicity. By being present in the moment, we become more aware of our surroundings and the signals that may arise. Meditation is an excellent tool for developing this skill. Spend a few minutes each day sitting in silence, focusing on your breath and observing your thoughts without judgment. This will help you be more present and notice significant coincidences when they occur. Another way to integrate synchronicity into your daily life is to pay attention to your dreams. Jung believed that dreams are a window to the unconscious and can be full of meaningful messages and symbols. Keep a notebook beside your bed and write down your dreams as soon as you wake up. Throughout the day, observe if there's any coincidence between your dreams and what happens in your awake life. For example, you might dream about a butterfly and then see a real butterfly at a crucial moment of the day. These connections can offer you guidance and a deeper understanding of your experiences. It's also helpful to trust your intuition. That inner voice or gut feeling can be a powerful guide in recognizing synchronicity. Often, our intuition directs us toward people, places, or situations that turn out to be significant. For instance, you might feel compelled to take a different route to work, and in the process, encounter someone who offers you an important opportunity. Learn to listen and follow these hunches, as they can lead you to synchronicity experiences you might otherwise miss. Sharing your synchronicity experiences with others is also important. Discussing these coincidences with friends or family can help you see them from different perspectives and find greater meaning. Moreover, by sharing your stories, you can inspire others to pay attention to their own experiences and recognize synchronicity in their lives. For example, imagine you're looking to change careers but are unsure of which direction to take. One day, while talking to a friend, he casually mentions a field you had never considered. That same week, you find an article about that field and later meet someone at a social event who works in that industry. These coincidences might seem random, but together they form a significant pattern that could be guiding you toward your new career. Synchronicity can also be a source of comfort and hope in difficult times. Suppose you are going through a painful breakup and feel lost. One day, while walking through a park, you find a white feather on the ground, a symbol you've always associated with protection and guidance. Then, when you turn on the radio, you hear a song that seems to speak directly to your situation. These coincidences can offer you a sense of connection and support, reminding you that you are not alone and that the universe is looking out for you. Incorporating synchronicity into your daily life also means being willing to act when you recognize a meaningful coincidence. If you notice a synchronicity that seems to point toward a specific action, such as making a call or pursuing a new opportunity, take it as a sign and act on it. Synchronicity not only offers guidance, but also invites us to make decisions and move in new directions. In summary, synchronicity in daily practice is a powerful tool for living more consciously and connectedly. By keeping an open mind, practicing mindfulness, trusting your intuition, and acting on the signals you receive, you can discover a deeper sense of meaning and purpose in your life. Jung taught us that these meaningful coincidences are not mere happenstances, but messages from the universe, guiding and supporting us on our path. By being attentive to synchronicity, we can find greater harmony and direction in our everyday life, transforming the ordinary into something truly extraordinary. Point 6. Historical and personal examples of synchronicity. Synchronicity stories, those meaningful coincidences that seem to weave the threads of fate, have fascinated humanity for centuries. These experiences can be so profound and transformative that they make us question the boundaries between chance and connection. Here, we'll explore some historical and personal examples of synchronicity, revealing how these moments have changed lives and offered unexpected guidance. One of the most famous examples of synchronicity in history involves Carl Jung himself and a golden scarab. While working with a patient who was very rational and skeptical, Jung listened as she recounted a dream in which a golden scarab appeared. Just at that moment, a real golden scarab began to tap on the window of his office. Surprised, Jung opened the window and showed the insect to his patient. This event was so impactful for the patient that it broke through her resistance and opened her mind to new possibilities in her therapy. This experience of synchronicity not only reinforced Jung's theory, but also had a profound therapeutic effect on his patient. Another historical example is found in the life of Mark Twain, the famous American author. Twain was born in 1835, the year Halley's Comet passed near Earth. Throughout his life, Twain predicted he would die with the next appearance of the comet. In 1910, one day after the return of Halley's Comet, Twain passed away. This strange coincidence between his life and the appearance of the comet is an intriguing example of synchronicity that has left a mark on literary history. Synchronicity is not only found in the annals of history, it also manifests in our personal lives in surprising and meaningful ways. Imagine you are going through a period of doubt and confusion, seeking answers about your purpose in life. One day, you decide to visit a bookstore without a clear goal. As you browse the shelves, a book falls to the ground in front of you. You pick it up and discover it's a book about finding your personal purpose. As you read it, you feel as if each page is speaking directly to you, offering the clarity you so desperately need. This experience might seem like a simple coincidence, but for you, it is a synchronicity that provides guidance and direction. Another personal story of synchronicity could involve the search for love and relationships. Suppose you have been thinking a lot about your first love, someone with whom you lost contact years ago. One night, you dream about this person, and the next day, you receive an unexpected message from them on social media. This reconnection can open a new chapter in your life, whether it be renewed friendship or something deeper. The synchronicity of this reunion not only brings a pleasant surprise, but also a sense that there are invisible forces connecting us in mysterious ways. Synchronicity can also appear in moments of danger or crisis, offering us protection and comfort. Imagine you are about to take a flight, but something tells you not to go. You follow that hunch and later find out that the flight experienced severe mechanical problems. This experience might seem like mere coincidence, but to you, it is a synchronicity that saved you from a potential disaster. These experiences remind us that sometimes our intuitions and the signs from the universe may be working together to guide and protect us. Through these historical and personal examples, we can see how synchronicity acts as a sort of invisible net that connects events, people, and moments in a meaningful way. These meaningful coincidences can provide comfort, guidance, and a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. By being open to synchronicity and recognizing these experiences when they occur, we can find a deeper sense of connection and purpose in our daily lives. In summary, synchronicity is not just a theoretical concept. It is a lived reality that has touched the lives of many, both in history and in the present. The stories of Jung and the Golden Scarab, Mark Twain and Halley's Comet, and countless personal experiences of synchronicity show us that these meaningful coincidences can have a profound and lasting impact. By paying attention to synchronicities in our own lives, we can discover a rich source of guidance and meaning, reminding us that we are not alone and that our lives are interwoven in mysterious and wonderful ways. Synchronicity invites us to see the world with new eyes, recognizing that every meaningful coincidence is an open door to a universe of possibilities and deep connections. Point 7. Synchronicity and its impact on personal growth. Have you ever had an experience so meaningful that it changed your life? Synchronicity, those coincidences full of significance, can have a profound impact on our personal growth. Carl Jung believed that these events were not mere accidents but signals from the universe guiding us on our path. By paying attention to synchronicity, we can find inspiration, clarity, and a deeper sense of purpose in our lives. Imagine you are at a crossroads in your career. You don't know which direction to take and feel lost. One day, while walking in the park, you find a book left on a bench. You pick it up and realize it's precisely on the topic you've been considering. As you read it, you find answers and a new perspective that helps you decide your next step. This experience of synchronicity not only provides the information you need, but also gives you the confidence to move forward. Feeling that the universe is guiding you can be incredibly empowering and transformative. Synchronicity can act as a catalyst for self-knowledge. Often, these meaningful coincidences push us to look inside ourselves and reflect on our lives. For example, you might repeatedly encounter the symbol of a butterfly in different contexts, in a dream, in a piece of art, and in a conversation. The butterfly, a universal symbol of transformation, may be signaling that you are ready for a significant change in your life. By recognizing this pattern, you can begin to explore what you need to transform in yourself, whether it's letting go of old beliefs or adopting new ways of being. Synchronicities can also strengthen our connections with other people, which is crucial for personal growth. Suppose you meet someone at a conference who shares your interests and values. During your conversation, you discover that you have many connections in common and similar experiences. This coincidence may not be mere chance, but a sign that this person will play an important role in your life. They might become a mentor, a business partner, or a close friend. These meaningful relationships can provide support, inspiration, and new opportunities for growth. Moreover, synchronicity can serve as a reminder that we are on the right path. When facing challenges and doubts, these moments of significant coincidence can offer the validation we need to keep moving forward. For instance, if you are working on a creative project and start to doubt its value, you might receive an unexpected positive comment from a stranger or find an inspiring quote that resonates deeply with you. These experiences can give you the necessary boost to continue and trust in your vision. Synchronicity can also help us overcome obstacles and view challenges from a new perspective. Imagine you are going through a difficult period in your personal life and can't see a way out. One day, you encounter an old friend who has been through a similar experience and offers valuable advice. This coincidence can help you realize that you are not alone and that there are hope and solutions available. With this unexpected support, you can find the strength and wisdom to face your challenges with a new attitude. A personal example might illustrate this even more clearly. Suppose you are considering moving to a new city, but you have many doubts and fears. While walking through your neighborhood, you see a poster advertising an event about life in that city. You decide to attend and there meet several people who have made the same transition and are happy with their decision. This synchronicity provides you with the information and emotional support you need to make the decision with more confidence and less anxiety. Ultimately, synchronicity reminds us that there is a greater order in the universe and that our lives have a deeper purpose. By being open to these meaningful experiences, we can find a sense of wonder and gratitude for the mysterious ways the universe works. This can lead us to live with more intentionality and awareness, knowing that each step on our path has meaning and potential for personal growth. In conclusion, synchronicity can have a profound and lasting impact on our personal growth. By paying attention to these meaningful coincidences, we can find guidance, inspiration, and a deeper sense of purpose in our lives. Carl Jung taught us that synchronicity is not just a series of random events, but a manifestation of the collective unconscious that connects us all. By recognizing and following the signs from the universe, we can transform our lives in surprising and meaningful ways, finding the strength and wisdom to grow and evolve. Synchronicity, that fascinating phenomenon defined by Carl Jung as the meaningful coincidence of events that are not causally related, has the power to transform our perception of the world and our place within it. Exploring this concept, we've discovered how meaningful coincidences can guide us, offer comfort, and help us grow in profound and surprising ways. Synchronicity invites us to see the world with new eyes, to recognize the patterns and connections that surround us, and to open ourselves to the possibility that the universe is filled with messages waiting to be deciphered. When we pay attention to synchronicity, we realize there is a deeper order and purpose in our lives. Every fortuitous encounter, every meaningful dream, and every astonishing coincidence are like clues on a cosmic map, guiding us toward our true destiny. These magical moments can act as beacons in times of darkness, reminding us that we are not alone and that the universe supports us in mysterious and unexpected ways. Reflecting on synchronicity, we can find comfort in knowing that our experiences have a greater purpose. The archetypes and symbols that emerge in our lives, whether through dreams, encounters, or daily events, are like messages from the collective unconscious, offering us guidance and ancient wisdom. These universal patterns connect us all, reminding us of our shared humanity and our connection to something larger than ourselves. Synchronicity also invites us to trust our intuition and perception. By paying attention to our hunches and the small details of our everyday lives, we can discover a rich source of guidance and clarity. These meaningful coincidences not only help us make important decisions, but also provide us with a sense of direction and purpose. They remind us that, although we may not always understand the path we are on, there is an underlying order that leads us where we need to be. Perhaps the most inspiring aspect of synchronicity is its ability to reinforce our connections with others. Meaningful coincidences often bring us into contact with people who play a crucial role in our journey. Whether it's a friend who offers advice at just the right moment, a stranger who becomes an unexpected mentor, or a conversation that changes our perspective, these encounters show us that our lives are intertwined in wonderful and significant ways. In a world that often seems chaotic and disconnected, synchronicity offers a vision of hope and connection. It invites us to live with more awareness and openness, to recognize the messages and signs that the universe sends us, and to follow our path with confidence and gratitude. By incorporating synchronicity into our lives, we can find a deeper sense of meaning and purpose, and discover that each moment, no matter how small, can be filled with magic and possibility. I invite you to consider the phenomenon of synchronicity in your own life. Observe the meaningful coincidences, pay attention to your dreams and hunches, and open your mind to the possibility that the universe is speaking to you. By doing so, you can find guidance, inspiration, and a deeper connection with the world around you. Synchronicity is a reminder that we are not alone, and that our lives are woven with the threads of fate, connecting us with the universe in mysterious and wonderful ways. Allow yourself to be guided by these signs and discover the magic that resides in every moment of your existence.